Now, you have, up until now, hopefully been taking notes. And if you have, you may have seen me doing things like this and like this. And that is, yes. And that is because in my head, I'm building the house. We've covered 6 pillars so far. And when you put them together, and this again, I didn't take from any book or anywhere. I made this, created this in my mind myself as I was literally doing it. Your mindset provides you with a solid foundation that you can build everything else on top of. Your operational systems and your target audience and offer create the clarity and the ease that you need in order to speak to the right group of people and have them easily be able to sign up with you, buy from you, etc. Over that, your ceiling is your business formation. These are the legal steps, the protections that you're going to put in place to make sure that everything below that is nice and safe and belongs to you and is not in danger of being interrupted by any issues. And then your roof is your marketing plan and your revenue stream. If you imagine like rain falling down on the roof, these are the two sides that bring people into your world. Now, something's missing. When you take a look at this, you might notice that in my little diagram, there are no windows, there are no doors. We have just built a solid structure. A solid structure with no windows and no doors is a problem because eventually we are going to run out of air. We are going to run out of air. We are going to suffocate if we are standing inside, whether we're in the attic or whether we're in the house. We don't got a door. We don't got a window. Everything is tightened up. We patched up all the cracks and everything. And now, unfortunately, we are running out of oxygen. Someone said, open the gate. What's missing here, you're definitely on the right path. What's missing here is an air spout, a chimney, a valve. For those of you that are in the bunker, you might know that I often use that picture of a bunker to demonstrate what we are doing inside of the bunker. And the bunker is built into the side of a hill, right? Because it gives us all of that protection. It's our safe spot. But what's sticking up at the top of the hill is the air spout. Okay? We need that. And this is where community comes in. And this is the pillar that I did not have when I started Rockstar Bar Girl. I had already been to law school for a couple of years. I had run restaurants. I spent 15 years in hospitality as a bartender, bar manager. I was never a waitress or a bar back or anything like that. I started at bartender and within 5 years was managing. I was event coordinator. Then I was assistant general manager. Then I was a general manager. Then I was being contracted to open cocktail bars in New York City. So I had a lot of business experience under my belt. I understood things like business formation. I understood things like having a good marketing plan. I had the mindset for success. What I was missing was community. And the reason why this is the most important pillar is because out of everything else we've learned about all the other 6 pillars, we learned that cracks in the pillar can have some pretty serious consequences. This is the only pillar that if you don't have, the consequence is actual complete failure. This is the only pillar that if you don't have it in place or it is fractured in some way, could cause you to literally suffocate inside of the business that you have built. This is what happens when you see solo entrepreneurs be so burnt out, so worn out, that regardless of what's happening in their business, they just have to give up. This is the most important pillar because if you don't have it, it is the only one that can take you out of the game. You have to be able to breathe. All of the other things you can come back from. I promise you. You can come back from a lawsuit. You can come back from tax debt. You can come back from a bad marketing strategy. You can come back from a poor money mindset. You can work on those things and still save your business. If you suffocate inside of it, there is no saving the business because you cannot be saved. Your clients and your customers are not your community. They are a community, but they're not your community. They are your customers and your clients. And you want them to be treated as they are a part of a community, but they're really building a community amongst themselves that you are the steward of, that you are the facilitator of, right? The principal of a school is not a part of the student body. The student body will be heavily impacted by the principal and the principal's values and how they do things and all of that good stuff. And they will have camaraderie and they will have cordiality and they will feel a kindred spirit and a bond and all of those beautiful things. But it would be completely inappropriate for the principal after school lets out to go and have, a drink with a student. So your clients and your customers are a community that you are spearheading. They're not your community. Your community is going to be the peers and the other professionals that can guide you, that can support you, that can motivate you, that can collaborate with you, that can exchange resources, etc. This is why I created the bunker, so that witchpreneurs could find other witchpreneurs to be in community with. You already have your clients and your customers, especially if you're a growth witch and you've already started offering yourself to the world in some way. You've got some clients, you've got some customers. Those are not the people that you can collaborate with. Those are not the people that you can get resources from. They're not there yet. With your help, maybe they'll grow to be on your level, but right now they're not, and they can't give you that. So you've got to put yourself in the room with other people that are on your level, because the idea that you have to figure it all out on your own is a complete myth. And if you want to get deep with it, a trauma response. Many, if not most, spiritual practitioners are traumatized. I probably don't have to tell you that. But the reason why we end up becoming spiritual practitioners in the first place is because our traumas, usually our childhood traumas, caused us to have to figure things out for ourselves, and spirituality helped us to do that. We didn't have a support system growing up. We didn't have emotionally available parents. We didn't have good grounding techniques taught to us. We weren't taught how to regulate our nervous system. We weren't taught how to be present in the moment. We weren't taught how to meditate. And so we learned these things in order to cope with the traumas of our lives. And because they helped us, now we want to share them with the next person and help them. So most of us spiritual practitioners have become that because of having to figure things out for ourselves, probably from an early age. And now you think that's the only way to do it. It doesn't occur to you to ask for help. It doesn't occur to you to reach out to people to collaborate on that event. You want to host a retreat, and it doesn't occur to you to look for people who also have a similar following or a similar target audience and would want to collaborate with you. You think you have to do it all on your own. And it's just not true. And when you create a community, when you find a community of peers, you create a breathing hole in your building. You put a chimney in your business so that you can keep doing the work inside without suffocating. You have somewhere to go for that precious oxygen you need to keep going. Okay? So please, especially for my growth witches, because so many of these pillars you might already have in place or partially in place, I want you to take a look at your business. I want you to take a look at your lifestyle. And I want you to ask yourself, do you have a community of peers around you? And if not, it's time to find it. Because if you don't, I fear you might run out of oxygen.